the stage, Gigi.
I have to make sure Grandma wasn't sleeping.
Oh! How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, I need more from you guys. One more time. How is everyone? Hi everyone, my name is Eda Enriquez, and I am the Festival Director for Love M Underground International Film Festival, #LoveUp. And I have the honor today of moderating the panel for the Hulu original Culture Shock, directed by the amazing Gigi Saul Guerrero, aka La Muñeca del Perro. Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
Get a little bit more personal.
No, come.
Alright, so if we could go down the line, everybody could say their name and what their role was in the film. Well, start off.
Hello, my name is Dani, and I play Ricky.
Barbara Crampton, Betty. Marta Garena, Marisol.
Gigi Saul Guerrero, the director, correct.
So, true story, when I first watched the trailer for Culture Shock, I was so excited. I was watching it come out, and then the commercial came on, that I nearly broke my laptop. Needless to say, it is an honor to be able to moderate this amazing panel for this wonderful film. So let's go on to the questions. So Gigi, where did the idea for this story come from? Can you talk a little bit more about the experience in making the story come to life?
Yes, for sure. No, this is a really cool story actually. I recently, right at this time, last year, I signed with my agents over at Bird, and I was very excited, and they were like, okay, go out and do generals. And for me, I'm like, oh, that's the coolest thing. I'm totally in LA now doing generals. Or the water bottle tour, as they call it here. And Blumhouse was my very first general meeting. And in the conversation, Blumhouse was like, oh, we're tackling this series called Into the Dark. Hey, ¿qué pasó? And, who are you?
I am just a guy who was working outside. It was a parade or something. I'm Felipe de Lara, and I play the coolest guy, Oscar. Seriously,
Good job. And yes, in the conversation with Blumhouse, they were like, we have this script that was called Crossing at the time. And they were like, it's a border crossing horror. And so I was like, have you seen my border crossing horror short? I mean, you don't hear that label very often. And they're like, no. I said, well, watch it and give me a call back. And I pitched 4 times to direct this, but every pitch I would remind them, and I very much did on the last one, like, if you hire me, this is gonna be so Mexican. I promise you. I was like, if you let me do this, this will be so Mexa. It will go a long way appreciated. I hope, and I'm glad a lot of people caught on to the jokes. But it was incredible. Fast paced, but we did it. Yeah.
Well, it was great. So most of the line of projects you've embarked on personally through Luchador and on your own have been shorts. What does it mean to you to mark your feature-length directorial debut with Culture Shock? Why did you choose this project to mark such a milestone in your career?
It felt it was the right time, like after 18 short films to tackle a feature. And I can't help my team enough at Luchador, as well as my agents and manager, who were like, you're ready, go for it. And when I saw this script, I just felt in my heart, this is the one. This is the one I want to do and help me write. And it's still really hard to express that you know, when I did this, I came here and I don't know a single person, and now look how many people are here. Like, and I know a lot of people here in just such a short amount of time. Thank you guys. So it really means a lot. It really means a lot, and I'm excited for the next one. So thanks everybody involved.
So one of those most frightening experiences, I think, is jumping into the unknown. And it takes a lot of strength and bravery to do so. This question is for Gigi, Michael, Richard. You all have crossing stories of your own about immigrating from Mexico. What did it feel like to make a film of something that's so personal, and how did you utilize and tap into those experiences when making this project?
Okay. Well, I think for me, particularly when I came to this country, my English was not really that good. I didn't have papers to work. And although I've been working a lot before in Mexico, I just really was also coming here and looking for an opportunity. And I felt I was determined and lucky to, and wanted to meet the right people and just really going for it. And every time people would say no, 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 I would feel like I'm getting closer to a yes, I'm getting closer to a yes, you know? Would prepare a lot, and I think, well, you said it, you know, the way jumping into the unknown. It is that way whenever you're doing a new movie or a new project, and particularly with this one. I've never been, you know, pregnant or given birth to a child, or, you know, and it was like, you know, always in genre films, you're using really strong emotions and the emotion of survival. And that also, to me, is very personal, too. Because I feel a lot of people that we come here or go to other countries or other places looking for opportunities, we are doing that. And we're looking for the best for us and our families. So I felt like it was very important for me to bring that into the character. And Gigi and I will share many stories about also how she had to leave Mexico to also look for an opportunity with her family that's here. The same with my family that is here. I also brought my grandpa, who's there, and my mom and dad.
Abuelitos for life.
Yeah. And so I feel like, you know, after the conversations that Gigi and I, we kept on having and saying, like, bringing what you are into the character, what you are about, and your fears and your strengths, and also your vulnerability too. And in this, in culture shock, it's not only like fighting for survival of yourself, but also for a child. So those emotions, you know, Gigi and I, we worked together throughout, you know, the whole experience, and I just felt really, really happy to be working with, you know, also. On set, it was really fun because we had Spanish and English, and then all of a sudden the arroz con leche, and it was great. Like, hearing Gigi direct also kept all of us motivated. So, thank you, Gigi.
Yeah. Well, I was born here, but my dad was born in Mexico, and my grandmother came from Mexico also. She came over here like in the 1950s or 60s. So it definitely was close to home, and I knew that this being a border crossing story, that this was real. Not only was it real in what's happening now, but it was also real in my family. So I mean, everything in my heart and soul and spirit knew that I needed to bring that spirit to life. And so, I mean, I only had like maybe a few weeks to prepare, but I remember like going to my uncle's mechanic shop and like really hearing his stories of crossing the border, and then hearing from my dad for his first time that actually the first time he came, he was Ricky's age, and I never knew that. So it was like, not only were we bringing something that was going to entertain people and give some food for thought, but it was something that really happened in my family. So that's how I started, and that's how I finished, and I believe that I I did as much as I can, you know, and that was my only focus.
You know, my stories are similar. I'll just quickly share. You know, my family, especially my dad, his focus was always to find the best for them. You know, and Canada seemed like the right choice, and it was a very drastic change for our family. And you know, making this film, the first thing that I wanted to relate to was because for Latinos, like we actually don't have the meaning of culture shock. We don't have that in Spanish. We just say "te chingaste." And that's it. You know, like estupendo. We say, you know, like we don't really have that term. And I was just trying to remember what was it like when I moved to Canada, and people still to this day ask me, what do you prefer, Mexico or Canada? You can't compare because they're two different worlds. So making this film to, you know, add to your question really was like, I wanted almost to feel that again from the fact that I can't even compare the two countries. So what would it be like on screen if you literally made two different films and clashed them at the end? Sorry, they always laugh when Richard's like, hello there, friend. And I wanted that big of a difference where, you know, you could feel such a change of worlds going into the unknown.
Making it into your own horror story. Would you say that's accurate in what you're trying to do?
I mean, I think, I wouldn't even say it's my own horror story. I think it's everybody's horror story at the end of the day, and what's going on today. Everybody has a voice to speak about it, you know, and I just wanted to also speak about it, you know, and sure, make it my own, but yeah, that's a tough question.
Yeah. How about, how is this crossing story different from others out there? What makes this one so special and different?
You know, Blumhouse and Hulu just gave me the liberty and the freedom to do it my way, you know, so I think it's what makes it really special for me. I just felt really trusted to just take it and just make it the way it is, and everybody's trust, like anybody involved in this room. Thank you. Like it made it very special. I feel like I can actually say it's a very Gigi movie, which is great.
So this one's for Barbara. Barbara. So you are a legend in the horror genre. I feel like I've watched just about all of your films. They're amazing. Can you talk about how this experience was different from some of the other horror productions you've been a part of?
Well, I have to say, it's a movie that I know people are going to see because, you know, well, a lot of the movies I've done take about 30 or 35 years for people to say, oh, that's a cult classic. So, you know, Reanimator, now they're saying it's a hit. When it came out, we got good reviews, but everybody was like, what, a horror movie? Anyway, except for you guys. I mean, you guys are fans. But it's nice to be a part of something that had some finances behind it. We weren't like super struggling. And I know there's distribution, and so we're going to be on TV on July 4th. And it's so nice to be. Also, I mean, for me, this is something that has a message, that has something to say, and I think some of the best horror movies are movies that talk about society and cultural things and, you know, have some sort of message. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Night of the Living Dead, Get Out. And this movie is very timely and has something to say. Unfortunately, I'm part of the bad part of the situation. But, you know, personally, I want everybody to know that, you know, what's going on right now with border is really affecting me as well, and I feel terrible about families being separated and, you know, children and, you know, people's lives being lost. And so it was really a meaningful project for me to be involved with.
So this next question is for everyone. So is there a particular scene or moment for everyone working on Culture Shock that really defined the experience for you working on this film?
Start with the book. Let me remember the question. So, what event defined what it was like to work on Culture Shock? Well, for me, it was actually kind of scary to think that that's actually happening. And that, like, I didn't even know that any of that was happening before this. It was really scary to think that, like, people are capable of making programs like what's in Culture Shock. And, well, it's really scary to think that that can happen when you never really thought that that would be true, like separating families, kids being separated from their parents. Very sad, and it scares me. It's like, I mean, I was born here, but both of my parents are from Mexico, so it almost makes me feel bad for the people who are immigrants and for everyone that's crossing over the United States, because, well, it's scary.
Yeah, definitely. How about this one? We haven't heard from you yet. So can you tell us a little bit about something that has defined you or defined this film for you? Something was memorable.
Well, actually, the whole experience was very surreal for me. I came into this project. There were so many connections and between me and people involved in the film. I actually went to school in Vancouver. When I first left home, I didn't come here to the States. I'm originally from Mexico, from Monterrey, and I went to Vancouver Film School, which is exactly where Gigi teaches directing. I had a lot of friends in common with her, both from Mexico and from Canada. And I actually met Sean in Toronto years ago in another film. So, like, the whole experience was like, it feels like I'm meant to be here. And both Gigi and Elisa, they made sure that I had this opportunity. Now, when it comes to the shooting, well, my character is not the nicest. You know, it's something that unfortunately happens very often. People go through hell. People who are looking for a better life. They know that it's not going to be easy. They know that it's not going to be, you know, just a walk in the park. But despite that, they put everything down the line. They leave everything behind. And it's not easy. And for them, it's even harder because they encounter people like my character, you know, people who are just trying to take advantage of those people. And I think it's really sad. And for me, it really took a lot to put myself in those shoes and try to find the reasons why I would do that. It was very challenging, but I think working with Marta, I mean, she's such a generous artist and human being that between all of us, I think we created something that, I don't know, it marked me in a very profound way. The whole experience was very surreal. I'm still, you know, trying to figure exactly how I feel about it. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. But yeah, it was amazing working with Gigi. She's really amazing. The whole experience was great.
Okay. So we're actually going to take it, we have a couple more minutes, so I'm going to open it up to the audience. So if anyone has a question, right there. You have a mic for, just speak up.
I'll speak it up. I don't know where to start because there's a lot, so I'll just keep it really simple. The story largely is about our institution putting immigrants and refugees and whomever in a place they think is the American dream. So I just wanted you to talk about the production design of the fake American dream. And I think for me personally, what's really interesting is their view of what they think we want as the American dream seems really weird and maybe a little bit silly to us. And I was wondering if that was on purpose as well, like the pastels and everybody dressing themselves up. Yeah, talk about your vision of the American dream and the work that went into how that looked.
For sure. I'm glad you brought up the production design. I think he's here, our production designer. Caesar, can you stand up? Seriously, yeah, right in the middle. I told you. No, it was actually one of the most fun breakdowns. One of the, like, you're right. Like, it goes back to the propaganda posters. That's exactly what they look like. And I basically just said out loud when I was working with Cecil, I was like, what if these propaganda posters came to life? Because they're creepy and just too perfect. Like, when things are too perfect, something's wrong. It's like a perfect date. I don't trust that. No way. I gotta call the Uber right now. And so, those posters back in the day is exactly where the inspiration comes from. Pleasantville gone wrong. And for a lot of us immigrants, like, we see and hear, as the Coyote talks about, like, sometimes we're brainwashed about this land of opportunity. How come that land of opportunity can't happen in our own? In your question, you kind of answered it. Yeah.
Someone, let's see, over there in the corner?
Yeah, is there any possibility we could see a maze for Culture Shock? Maybe say it like Horror Nights or Dark
I designed the haunted houses in Vancouver. We should make that.
Let's see, one more, right there?
So I think my understanding is that this is the first series. Is that correct?
This is the 10th one.
Oh, this is. So, because what I want to understand is, this is gonna keep going, right? Maybe you could explain that to me a little bit more. Is this the full thing? Like,
So for those who don't know, Into the Dark is the series on Hulu. It's like a Hulu Black Mirror. So every episode is a very different episode that has to do with that month's holiday. So ours is the 4th of July installment, but they're feature-length episodes.
And this is is this you said this is the 10th?
So this is the 10th installment of the series, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One more question.
Hi. First of all, I love the episode of the series. Great story. I was totally missing your touch until they see the laboratory outside the Matrix. That's Gigi. I remember the whole, all the series you have for El Gigante. So I was wondering, could we see a movie about Santo Cristobal in the Gigante world?
Oh man, I gotta tell you though, like, it was one day on set, I was like, why don't I have my blood on set? Like, it was hard not to have so much blood. It was really hard. And to fight for that Billy Club then, like, I was like, guys, I need it. Like, I was like, and so our special effects team, like, when that shit exploded. It was the greatest time. It was the great. Richard just kept hitting it. I didn't even call cut because we didn't expect it to explode so much. It was a blooper, but
It wasn't supposed to happen like that. She was like, okay, so on the countdown, it's gonna be like, we're gonna give you a little bit of blood, and then we're really gonna go, right? And then what happened?
It all went.
It all went, right? It was that moment, like, all the blood was in my face, right? And I was like, this thing's supposed to happen, bitch, right? And I was like, just go for it, just keep on going. And yeah, and you kept it, right?
I told you.
Yeah,
Alright, last question, I promise. I see your hand up there.
Yeah, it's not really a question. It's a great job, everyone. And Barbara, I don't care if it takes 30 years for a classic, you're still a classic. You're looking great. Everybody. Richard, hermanos, awesome. Great job. Love it.
I just want to get Chase Horseman to stand up. Where is he? Right in the middle. So, for those who don't know, Chase was the composer of this film, flew in for this, but Chase and I have known each other since we were 19 years old, and we were, before even I was in film school, we were talking about a moment like this. And finally, I paid him. But, you know, just a big shout out to you, man. I think, you know, my most memorable time on this was that even though we've worked together 8 years, this film was the first time we were in person together mixing. And it was, for me, one of the most special moments. So I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Alright, well, it's such a great time that I would like to thank once again Theory of Film Night and Culture Shock cast and crew for putting on this panel for us today. And don't forget to tune in on July 4th on Hulu to watch the 10th installment of the Into the Dark series, which is Culture Shock. So one more round of applause for these amazing